right, everybody. Welcome to the Get Bit Podcast, the show for blurs and nerds. And pretty much, if you got a fandom, this is where you want to be. Of course, your host here with the most, Will Buchanan. Of course, my high-pitched co-host, I can't call you intern anymore, Joe. What are we calling you these days?
This week I am fully rebuilt Cerberus Operative, Jim Snello.
Cerberus Operative. And of course, with the most confused look on his face at the bottom, Big VZ and Godball, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
That was the most confused look, Vaughn. It's like, what did he say?
Hey, whatever he with, I'm riding with it. I didn't understand it, but hey, if Joe with it, I'm riding. That's all it is. That's all that matters.
Oh man. Well, that being said, guys, of course this is the Get Bit Podcast. We are a family-friendly podcast. However, sometimes we do let words fly. It happens. We don't do it intentionally. It's just our way of expressing ourselves. And of course, there are some trailers that we may show, albeit they will be muted because DMCA is just ruining everybody's lives right now. So you will be able to see the trailers, however, they will be muted. But then again, some trailers we may show of a graphic nature, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So we're going to get right into it because Memorial Day weekend, I know a lot of people have plans in mind, especially if you have Monday off. You lucky people. So with that being said, guys, I did want to go into the video games very quickly because there has been some news. I did want to start with this first video game trailer. I'm going to go ahead and play it for everybody to see, called Daymore 1994 Sandcastle. Now, what this trailer is about, guys, from of course, it's one of the newest games that will be released very soon by Invader Studios. Think of it as Resident Evil meets Dead Space. It is a survival horror. As you can see in the trailer here, is pretty much, a dead body being reanimated, so to speak. And as I'm looking into this, guys, this game will actually have another showing at E3. But aside from that, like I said, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, of Dead Space, Left 4 Dead, Dying Light, those type of survival horrors, then you're definitely going to like games like this. Now, Joe, Vaughn, are y'all able to see the trailer and kind of see what it looks like?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing everything that you're saying about it. Tripping off of this electricity makes me feel like Silk the Shocker is going to get in there.
Well, that's the thing about it, though. Like, even though this is just the announcement trailer, and like I said before, more information will come along as E3 is upon us, which will actually be next month, which has some odd dates. So, of course, as it looks like this may just be a single-person campaign similar to Dead Space, because you kind of have that in the dark, very intense shadows and jumping out at you feeling, and it's you versus whatever is out there. Especially in this sense, like you can kind of tell with the weapons and things that they're kind of showing off. Like, to me, it gives a Dead Space feel. And of course, you always have that, sneak up on you last second, I'm about to get you kind of feel. But Joe, you see it as well. What do you think?
Kind of reminds me of System Shock, actually.
Okay. I can see that too. I kind of get the necromorphs from Dead Space with the zombies from Resident. Well, I don't know if we can call them zombies anymore from Resident Evil. It's more along the lines of bioweapons now. But
now we're on to werewolves and bug women and tall vampire ladies.
That we don't care if they catch us or not. Yeah.
True.
I'm already past that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I love Resident Evil Village. But with Daymore 1994 Sandcastle, that actually comes out in 2022, but there will be a display of it at E3. Now, the other game I wanted to get into, because we kind of had a discussion about this before the podcast was up, I called it the shortest conference in record history. Joe said, well, you're forgetting it's Sonic. It's supposed to be fast, so if you look at it, as Joe pointed out, it's the fastest conference you ever seen. Now, of course, the live stream was just yesterday that Sega did, and they did actually do, because we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of Sonic. Who knew it's been 30 years since Sonic was first on the Sega Genesis as a 16-bit game?
Yeah,
So
Sonic is gonna have to run in sensible shoes now.
Sonic gonna be running silver sneakers, but 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 with that being said, I did want to show the trailer for this because they actually showed it as well. The trailer for Sonic Colors. Now, of course, they did announce 2 other games. Sonic will actually be a mobile game, and of course, they did announce that Sonic's the most elusive Sonic games like Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles will actually be ported. They didn't say if it's going to be ported to all platforms. So it looks like it may actually, like I said, my guess is my best bet it'll definitely be a Switch. It'll be a Switch port. But as you can see here, this is actually Sonic Colors Ultimate, in which, of course, if you play a Sonic game, it is all about timing. It is all about speed, and above all else, hand-eye coordination and ridiculous stages, especially if you're trying to beat times. Now, I've always been a fan of Sonic. I've never seen a bad Sonic game, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, I was a fan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Sonic Colors was probably one of the better attempts at 3D Sonic when it initially came out. So I'm all for this. I'm an old school Sonic fan way back in the day when it was in Archie Comics. We learned that Knuckles was supposedly Australian. All sorts of time travel and wizards and Mecha Sonic versus Mecha Knuckles, Hyper Metal Sonic versus Super Hyper Knuckles, and also Tails was there.
Oh yeah.
So
Knuckles.
I'm looking forward to this. I find it really weird that Baby Sonic keychain is a prize you get with the thing. I'm guessing that means someone got a toy that couldn't go to the fast food chain and
Probably.
they had to get it out. So that's why we're getting it there.
Probably so. Vaughn, what do you think?
I just kind of want to go back to this crap and you talking about you've never seen a bad Sonic game. Sonic Adventure 2, the Werewolf Sonic, where he's
You didn't like wait. You didn't like Sonic Unleashed?
I didn't like, no. I don't think too many people like Sonic Unleashed.
I loved
But
it.
then again, I'm not the Sonic 4, the last one I honestly played was the one where he was like going back and forth between his younger silent self and newer age.
Oh, Sonic Generations.
Yeah, Generations. And
Okay.
if this is anything like Generations, I'm for it, man. So,
I think
not the last one where you could create. No, I played one after that where you can actually create your own character, and he's kind of going in between certain worlds. So that was terrible, but Generations was great. So I'm for it if it's like Generations. If it's anything like Adventure or the other game,
I think they will keep it. Like I said, it looks interesting. Of course, it is available for pre-order. As you guys can see, September 7th, 2021 will be the release for it, and it looks like it is available on all platforms, including you PC, because you glorious PC master race folks. No harm, no foul. But let's be honest, not everything's PC. But the PC master race will come after you, sir. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Now another game, because I'm kind of speeding through these. We have two more games that actually did have some gameplay. Horizon Forbidden West. It is the successor to Horizon Zero Dawn. One of the more successful games for the PS4 when it came out. This does follow immediately after Horizon Zero Dawn, and this is just a little bit of the gameplay they showed from the state of play yesterday that they did for PlayStation. And actually, I just want to speed it up just a little bit because I want to get to the action point of it, because they do go heavy into the story, where she's actually fighting. Well, Aloy is actually going to be fighting. I call them raptors, but they call them something else in the game. But
Those are raptors.
I look at these and I'm immediately thinking Jurassic Park.
yeah.
I'm just waiting for old boy to come out of the woodwork and go clever girl. But not only that. Now, unfortunately, Horizon Forbidden West is a PS5 exclusive because because they are definitely starting to go. I mean, the games. Well, let's be honest. With a lot of PS4 systems out there now, yes, it still has about, according to Sony, maybe another 2 or 3 years of life before it starts hitting that end of life section. But a lot of these games that are coming out are starting to be PS5 exclusives, which is kind of annoying just because the simple fact of the matter is they can't seem to stock enough up to where folks can actually buy one. But I gotta admit, watching this though on a PS5 run on it looks beautiful. I can't be mad.
Sony is like, yo, we got the most beautiful bullets in the world.
Right.
We ain't got the guns. We kind of still got to make the guns to put the bullets in. But look at these beautiful bullets. Aren't they nice?
Yeah.
And this is an amazing game. Like, I'm looking at the water. Just the water is amazing. Like, the graphical, the everything, the processing. It's just, I wish I'd be able to play this because the last one was just as beautiful and I couldn't do shit with it. I'm
you know, Vaughn, I gotta ask you, dude, because I mean, you say you had issues with Zero Dawn. I would love to see your run of Zero Dawn because you asked me how I got past certain spots, and I'm like, dude, it took me a while. But I just love the fact, like, you got this mechanized elephant because you got raptors, you got elephants, and you can only, and I can only think of what else is going to be shown in this game. Because again, like I said, from Aloy's standpoint, let me just go a little bit more forward to where she's actually fighting the elephant now, which I thought was pretty cool. But like I said, this was actually almost a really 20-minute demonstration of the game, and I'm just looking forward to it. But Joe, you've been kind of quiet, dude. What do you think of it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time with Horizon Zero Dawn. I was also way over-leveled in that game and just breezed through the end game like you would not believe.
Yeah.
I think I hit max level by midway point because I was too busy hunting everything.
Oh, so you actually did the hunting trials.
No, I just flat out hunted everything. Period.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I don't even think I did too many of the trials except to get the weapons you have to get from the trials. But,
right. But it
did. Well, I should have did, obviously.
But I love the fact that it does show that she is going to be using different weapons. Like,
yeah, I like that she has an install super.
I did see that. I like the fact that they actually are expanding. Of course, you know, with the fights that she was doing, especially when you were fighting the alligator or the T-Rex. I know they call them a different name in Horizon Zero Dawn, but I'm like, dude, you were fighting a T-Rex, and you were. I mean, if you were struggling, he definitely made you work for it. But
in the pterodactyls in the last game is where I gave up.
They just like those are just pure evil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, those pterodactyls are pure evil.
The Stormbreakers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those things.
You would get the heavy anchor shot weighing down and just pummel the crap out of them with sonic rounds and fire bombs. Actually,
the real cold way I found out about this, and I found out because I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers do a run. They use the cold burst as a slingshot, and it's an instant kill.
Mm.
And he found that out by accident. And so I started doing it on my run, and I'm like, oh man, that looks cool. But again, like I said, with Horizon Zero Dawn, like I said, I just wanted to show a little bit of it because, like I said, this is almost a 15-minute run that they did for the state of play. Now, there's not a whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I was gonna say there's not a release date on it as of yet. But you can only assume that these guys are going to go ahead and have probably have another showing at E3. So again, with this one, like I said, Horizon Zero West is one of those games that I'm looking forward to. And I know it seems like you guys are looking forward to it as well, to see the continuation of the story, because it looks like they're trying to make it seem more relative, more immersive, and again, I'm just looking forward to it. Now, the last game I got before we move on to CW News, I got to talk about this game that I'm looking forward to. Now, I said this about every video game, guys. I know every video game I'm looking forward to. Let's be honest. Aside from the many things I do love video games. I'm still working my way through Zelda Breath of the Wild now, and I'm like, I am in love with that game. But another game I'm looking forward to that's going to be coming out very soon, Far Cry 6. Why? Because Gus from Breaking Bad is the bad guy. Giancarlo Esposito, but in my mind, he will always be Gus.
Yes.
From Los Manos Polos Chicken. Because we provide excellent customer service.
We give you the best customer service.
We give you the best customer service.
You shall come in here and get some chicken. May I help you?
But anyway, for all those that are not aware, Far Cry 6 is starting to make its way here. It is a Ubisoft original. I know for all those people have flashbacks about Ubisoft. To be honest with you guys, I've never met a bad Far Cry game. And in this case, they did want to show a little bit of the trailer for Far Cry 6 that's coming out. Of course, it's not saying it's based in Cuba, but let's be honest, there's a lot of Cuban references. There's a lot of influence. But visually, the game is stunning. The story itself is going to be great. At the same time, who can be mad about an alligator that attacks people?
You mean you're not going to get the wiener dog in the wheelchair?
No, because you think about it, an alligator that attacks on command? That is awesome.
Yeah, wait until the wiener dog becomes top tier late game.
That would be funny. A top tier wiener dog uses a weapon. But Vaughn, I know you. Vaughn, did you ever play Far Cry? I think you played. Didn't you play 3? Or did you play 1?
I have a lifetime ban against first person because I get nauseous every time I try to play a first person shooter or anything based around first person.
I have to get you those blue filter lenses because I'm telling you, they're gonna definitely help you.
I saw them at Walmart. I just need to buy them.
But no, I just like the fact that this trailer is pretty much just going over the rules. Well, the supposed rules in Far Cry. But let's be honest, if you played a Far Cry game, the only rule is however you want to do it. It's like stealth missions. A stealth mission can still work if there's no witnesses. At least that's how I play it.
Oh, wow. You got the old schools in here, too?
Yeah. That's why I said it's kind of funny that they don't. And I'm like, there is so many Cuban, Puerto Rican, Haitian influences. And, of course, the details of this whole game is stunning as all get out. So that's why I am just looking so forward to playing this because almost every Far Cry game that I've played, the story just gets you. I mean, the story kind of pulls you in, especially in this one because you're basically having to take down a dictator. It's gonna be an interesting take. And I apologize again, guys. I know you guys are wondering about the audio. Again, it's DMCA. If we played the audio right now, Facebook would stop this stream in a heartbeat. But again, like I said, I know John. Like I said, I know Vaughn. You kind of do avoid it for reasons I understand. Joe, what about you?
What are we talking about?
Far Cry 6.
Oh, I don't play those.
You don't?
I don't like first-person shooters.
You're gonna be in the same boat as Vaughn.
My God.
you and Vaughn are gonna be in the same boat.
It's not a sickness thing. I've just never really was big into first-person shooters. Like, I'm a third-person shooting guy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I know for me, I'm definitely looking forward to this. But as far as, of course, with the release dates go, there is not release dates yet. It's just them showing the trailer for it. And again, guys, it's up for pre-order. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I need to go back and check. Your wiener dog. I still find that funny. They got a wiener dog on a rotator. But I think it said it was available for pre-order. Oh, I was complete. Oh, let me actually stop myself. It's actually available for pre-order on Xbox October the 7th. So actually, as of right now, let me correct myself. So as of right now, you can pre-order Far Cry 6, which I will probably do if this podcast is over, to go ahead and get that going because, like I said, it's Gus. Who else above all else except Los Hermanos Polos? I'm sorry, I never get tired of saying that. But the last video game news we have before we move on to the CW shows of the week, I did post on my...
Oh, man, I'm sorry. When you bring up Gus, I just get mad at Walter because it's like, bruh, you had the perfect job. All you had to do was check your pride. All you had to do was just say, you know what? Let me make this money.
You knew Walter wasn't gonna do that.
Good.
You know Walter.
Oh.
You knew Walter was gonna do that the moment he saw what Gus did to old boy in episode 5. you knew he wasn't. You knew he wasn't gonna last long under Gus's employment. But you're right though. No, you're right.
You just made me think about that.
Hey,
I got to dip out 1 minute. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. But
we got Dragon Quest news.
Yep, I'm about to get to that. Let me get this rumor out the way, and then we'll get to Dragon Quest. So of course, guys, I did mention this on Facebook about God of War being a rumor. Unfortunately, it is no longer a rumor. I did sit there and say that the rumor was that it's going to be a PS5 exclusive. It has been confirmed as of today. God of War Ragnarok will not only be a PS5 exclusive, that it will have a 2021 release. So it is all but certain we will probably see more news of this with the Sony showcase as we get closer to E3. But also, speaking of Dragon Quest, I know Joe covered that conference. I didn't. So Joe, what you got from that?
We got 6 games announced, which I was pretty happy with. The biggest one to me, well, obviously there's 2 very big ones. Dragon Quest 12 got announced. Yuji Horii did say this Dragon Quest is much more mature than the other Dragon Quests. We have nothing outside of a trailer. It was just Yuji Horii, which is the producer for the whole entire franchise, come out and talk to us saying Dragon Quest 12 is more for adults. And it's just supposed to be just grittier, and that's all he really could say. Because every time he spoke, he had the CEO for the Dragon Quest company blow a giant whistle to censor him from saying anything else.
Oh, so that basically his handler. But go ahead.
Yeah,
his handler.
Then we got a really nice thing. We got Dragon Quest 3 2D HD Remake. This is being handled by the people that did Octopath Traveler. So it's one of the highest, if I believe, the most important of the 12 Dragon Quests besides 5 and 8 and 11. But 3 is their highest selling Dragon Quest of all time. That is, this is the game, and I believe it's this one. It's either this one or 5. That constitutes in Japan that games can only be sold on a certain day to prevent children delinquency.
5. I remember that story. It's 5.
Okay, it's 5. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 5. We also have a new mobile puzzle game called Dragon Quest Keshi Keshi, which is Dragon Quest Erase. It's a match-3 puzzle game with Dragon Quest stuff.
Okay.
Dragon Quest X, which is Japanese only. Dragon Quest X is the MMO. They are getting their new expansion, Dragon Quest version 6. They are not very big on names for expansions in Japan. We are also getting I guess the best way of putting it is a chibi form of Dragon Quest X, which is a top-down chibi version of the game, which is offline.
There's a niche. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. Somebody will like it. I've never been a fan of chibi games. But go ahead.
But the big one, and then Dragon Quest 11 gets support in Dragon Quest Treasure, which is a spin-off of 11. It is a prequel involving Eric and his little sister prior to the events of Dragon Quest 11 while they are still kids, just roaming around being thieves.
You know. Okay, go ahead. No. Because I want to see. I know that until we get closer to E3, that's gonna be a question I'm gonna have, like, how. But I'll hold that question until more information comes out. But go ahead.
How what?
How they're gonna do that? Considering the space tour, but they're trying to cover the story before 11. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not anybody from 11 but Eric and his little sister.
Okay, I can see that, but I guess I gotta see more of it to kind of, because I still.
The big things we take away from it is definitely the Dragon Quest 3 because it's Octopath's art team redoing it.
Yeah, I can look forward to that. But then, the Dragon Quest 3 and 8 were my favorites. 8 is my all-time love, but I do love 3.
Yeah, 5. It's 5 for me. 5 has a fantastic multi-generational story.
2 to 8. It's if I was thinking top Dragon Quest games, 8, then 5. It's only because I have a more of a love for 8 than I do 5, but I'm biased.
Don't lie to me. You're in it because of Jessica.
I mean, well, that and a certain Super Saiyan reference, but yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, but we don't know. We don't know you can get hyped and turn into purple trunk. Turn into Super Saiyan purple.
Go ahead, you can say purple Trunks, because that's what you can do.
He just was Trunks once he gets what was it, high tension?
Yeah, once he gets high tension, he does go Trunks. But thank you for that, Joe. So the only thing I gotta say about video games, like I said, I know I mentioned this 2 podcasts back about Assassin's Creed Wrath of the Druids, which was actually the first DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know it feels like forever and a day since Assassin's Creed Valhalla was mentioned. I did talk about Wrath of the Druids. It actually got released on May 13th. I actually played it. I can tell you, if you like Valhalla, you're gonna like Wrath of the Druids. It's a different take in a different country, and really different. It's not, and I don't mean to say it doesn't seem like, it seems more Viking, because that was a lot of people's complaints about Valhalla. It was more Viking than Assassin's Creed, but let's be honest, you can only do the Assassin's Creed story for so long until something has to change. With that being said, though, I didn't have any problem with Wrath of the Druids. I did love it. So, again, if you haven't had a chance to play it, I think it's available. If you bought the season pass, it's available to you. Standalone, I think it's still about $15 right now. But I just wanted to go ahead and get that out there because I'm still waiting for the Assassin's Creed from feudal Japan. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Yeah, I think we're going to be waiting. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But moving right along, guys. Like I said, we didn't really have a lot of information this week. I did want to go through the CW shows before we get to Joe's comic book recommendations of the week. Black Lightning. It needed to go. Say what, Joe? As Vaughn's just sending him off. Vaughn's sending off Black Lightning.
I said it's there. They do stuff. Stuff is said.
It was said. I'm just gonna say very quickly about Black Lightning because I already did a rant about this on my Instagram. It was one of those shows that just goes to show you that great story and great casting will lead to longevity in a show. Black Lightning somehow made it 3 seasons, and I'm sorry, it just didn't work.
Wait.
Go ahead, Vaughn.
My issue with the show was the writing. I understand that they were trying to jump on. This was the CW's chance at possibly, in my opinion, diversity and jumping on the whole woke way, but I felt like they were too heavy-handed with it in certain stories, and just, it's CW, man. At some point, like, even if it starts out with a spark of greatness, it eventually becomes boo-boo. And this one, to me, it was boo-boo from the second season. I was cool with the first season, but the second season was a huge drop-off for me. So.
I get that. What about you, Joe?
They have a great cast. I do agree with you. I think they were more hung up on the soundtrack than they were the writing. I mean, the soundtrack is amazing, but
yeah.
Who are these people?
I mean, I said the same thing, and like I said, I kept saying this from season 1. You know, if they just introduced Static Shock into Black Lightning, Black Lightning would still be on the air. In my opinion, if you introduce Static Shock and kind of revamp the story and the whole thing about, you know, you're trying to hold that whole Jennifer angle where she's not Jennifer, but technically it's an oddity that you're trying to bring in the last 2 episodes, which made no sense.
Are you telling me they pulled a Hydro Mary Jane with Jennifer finally?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sakes!
And try to wrap it up in 2 episodes. So it was literally.
That's fair. They tried to do away with Hydro Jane pretty quickly in the animated series too.
It just wasn't good. And like I said, the showrunner seemed more focused on the soundtrack than the actual story. And the only thing I gotta say about it is the guy who played Tobias Whale. I hope he gets more roles because thank you, Vaughn. Because
my bad. Sorry, he was a great rapper. signed with Exhibit at one point in time. They had a falling out. I don't know what happened, but seeing him, man, pull up, he was like the bright spot. That and the 3 episodes they had Jill Scott.
Yeah, she was playing Lady Eve, and I thought Jill Scott played great Lady Eve. But I loved his take on Tobias Whale. It's like, to me, it's like watching Robin. It's like watching Robin Lloyd play Penguin in Gotham. It was the only reason I watched Gotham was because he played the Penguin character so well. I apply the same thing to Black Lightning. It's like, look, tell me, like, you know, of course, you guys were all watching. Feel free to let us know in the comments as well, but I'm sorry, Black Lightning was just a failed experiment from Jump Street, and CW eventually had to pull the plug. There was no way around it. And also to move forward in this, it looks like the Flash is going to do the same thing. We finally wrapped up the Force Quest story arc, and it was hot garbage. I know, Joe, you want to say something. Go ahead. I see your head shaking.
They undercut like something very pivotal to a character like 4 episodes ago for no reason.
Which character?
Killer Frost. It's like, no, I'm going away.
Oh, okay.
Life without life in prison without parole.
Mm-hmm.
We got to move this. Oh, by the way, they're paroling me because I helped them in the prison, and also I'm trying to get with Chilblain.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense.
Chilblain, which that in and of itself, we don't talk about Chilblain. He doesn't exist. But
it's canon, Bond. It's like it's like a Snyderverse movie. We don't talk about it.
I've been done with the Flash since season 5. They got too goofy to the point where it seemed like hold on, is Vibe still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he should have been dead by the 2nd season.
Well,
he was dead in the 1st season.
He was dead in the 1st season, and yet somehow he got brought back.
So, anyways, all this happens, and then Barry and Iris like, let's have kids.
And yet he says the one word that the CW has already confirmed, that Bart Allen, aka Impulse, will be making his entry into the Flash. Which a lot of people thought, because the CW likes to keep its shows around 8 seasons, and the Flash is coming up on its 8th season, that they thought this would be the end. But because he sat there and said, I love the fact you're impulsive, kind of goes into the fact that Impulse will be introduced into the Flash, which means that the Flash may be looking at a couple more seasons before it finally has its finale.
All right, I got a season on this.
Hang on, Joe. What are you gonna say, Mom?
Vibe, the kid that, what was his real name? What was his alias?
Oh, Vibe?
Yeah.
Oh, Ramon.
Cisco, yeah. So he was killed in the 1st season?
Yeah, he was killed in the 1st season, but he was brought back.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must have missed that one.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Vibe was purely a character from the 80s that got killed as quickly as he appeared.
Pretty much.
They should have done it the same. I always felt like he was just their attempt at being youthful. It's like he would always say the newest slang, like, "Hey man, that's lit."
Yeah,
every time he would do that, I just cringe, man. I really wish he was. Okay, go ahead.
No. Go on, say it. Go on, say it. No, go and get it out. Go and get your system. You'll feel better.
I just felt like he was an example of a bad decision where they took the show into like an area of being too goofy. Like when they added the stretch guy, that was
the elongated man.
Back. Yeah, because he was just for no reason. He would like move as if he were in the Tyler Perry sitcom. And Joe, I don't know if you're familiar with Tyler Perry sitcoms. It's everything that they would do is a laugh track. If he moved, laugh track. Say a couple phrases, laugh track. And that's what really killed it for me.
Okay.
So, Elongated Man, Ralph Dibny, is very much like Plastic Man. He, even in the comics, is very comedic until we get to one particular comic series, and that thing goes horribly wrong for that poor man. And then you immediately forgive Ralph Dibny in the comic books. And then
a
stuff
certain
goes
act, a certain
even wrong
action.
for Ralph in the comics.
Yeah, it's
So Ralph Boyd was a comedic character in the comics.
a certain action that happened.
Certain series of actions that happens.
Well, there's one. I'm not gonna say it. There's one major one, but I'll leave it at that. But go ahead, Joe.
But as for vibe, parachute pants and breakdancing is what ultimately did him in the comics.
I feel like you just something like you were submitting everything that I feel about Cisco.
Well,
that's why he's still dead.
That's why he's still dead. But like I said, but for the Flash itself, I mean, here's hoping that I'm hoping they have a better story. I keep on saying that, of course, now Joe's no longer the chief of police. He was always Barry's compass. I hate the fact that there's so much emphasis on Iris in every episode. Like, don't get me wrong, Iris is a character in itself, but there is a reason why. It's like, why does that have to be so much emphasis? And the family thing got so overused. I thought I was watching a Fast and Furious movie. Dude, they kept everything was family related in the wrap up of the Force Quest. I was like, is Dominic Toretto gonna come out of nowhere and just say a line and then walk off? That's how I felt like. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You are my family.
Pretty much.
You are.
Which, by the way, Fast 9 comes out on June 9th. But, I'm not going to tell you to torrent. I'm not going to tell you to torrent anything. I'm not going to tell you to watch anything. I'm just saying June 9th, watch it legally. Moving right along, I did want to get to that part because I know everybody's like, you're going to tell us to stream it. I'm not telling you to do anything you shouldn't be doing because, again, you are your own person.
June 9th?
Say what?
June 9th?
June 9th, in theaters, the Fast 9 movie will be released.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm watching Loki.
Which again also comes out June 9th. That's a wonderful segue. Loki, which for all of us that don't know, Loki will be coming out June 9th. But the other show that I want to get to before we get to Joe's comic book recommendations, before we call it a day, Superman Lois. Again, seems to be the brightest jewel in CW. Vaughn, have you seen any of the Superman Lois episodes yet?
No, I have not.
I think you'll like it. It's a different take on Superman. I think you'll actually like it. Now, I
would. One part for fun right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have Evil Steel as the main villain.
That was a twist. That was a nice twist.
Oh, okay.
We have John Henry Irons with the hammer, and he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was, you know what? The fact that they try to make it seem like he was a Black Lothar, but then he sat there and said, "Oh, he was John Henry Irons." I was like, "Oh, this was well done." So y'all turn.
It's explained the Doom armor now a little bit better.
I was like, "Yeah, it does," and I'm like, you know what? I like that twist. The fact that
the one thing I had a problem with is that his niece is now his daughter, but I can let that go.
Yeah, you gotta make some adjustments, but still, the whole thing of seeing the hammer and seeing the hammer, the suit, it all makes sense now.
Well, so long as the dude isn't being played by Shaquille O'Neal,
nah,
I'm okay with it.
No, we ain't talking about that movie. We will never talk about that movie ever. One of the worst. Say what, Joe?
Can we talk about Kazam?
Do we really need to talk about a genie that comes out of a boombox that really didn't follow the Jin code?
Eh?
He didn't follow.
But can he make free throws?
No.
The funny part was, if I remember right in Kazam, they did make a joke about his free throw shooting.
Matter of fact, wasn't that the ending where he balled the bad guy, the supposed baddie up, and shot him into a hoop?
Yes.
Sorry, spoiler alert. I don't know if you ever played anybody out there plan on watching Kazam. I'm sorry if I ruined Shaquille O'Neal theatrical acting experience. My bad.
I don't think anybody's looking for it on demand, Vaughn. If so, it is a hardcore fan, and I mean they'll be alone, but they'll be a hardcore fan alone.
In the words of Shaquille O'Neal, if you've ever listened to the Conan O'Brien podcast, we can sum this one part of this conversation up. From Shaquille O'Neal, we'll never know.
But before we do go into, like I said, Joe, before we get to the last part of the podcast of Joe's comic book references,
no, I do have something that taps on to Superman and Lois.
Oh, go ahead.
So it is now confirmed the HBO Green Lantern series, which does have 2 confirmed actors. Their series director is going to be the same series director for Superman and Lois.
Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, I like what the director and showrunner have done with Superman and Lois. So I'm looking forward to the Green Lantern Corps, what they're gonna do with HBO Max.
We also now can confirm that Alan Scott is now a man out of time.
Okay. I am willing to give it. It's not my first choice, but okay.
I sense hesitation, Will.
You know what I used to say about casting? Because in my mind, I go back to Heath Ledger. When Heath Ledger was first announced as the Joker in the Dark Knight, I was like, really? The guy from 10 Things I Hate About You? Him? And then when you saw Dark Knight and when you saw him come out those first 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I take back everything I said. He gave us a great Anarchy Joker. I am not mad about that. So, with this being said about him being the man out of time, I'm like, you know what? Let's just see. I have learned that whatever the casting is, outside of everybody wanting Beyonce to play Storm for reasons beyond my comprehension, she should not play Storm. If you've seen her play Dreamgirls, that should tell you everything you need to know about Beyonce's acting. Everything.
Yes. Good enough.
Here's my pitch for Storm. Just get an unknown actress and get the 90s woman to come in and do the dub. Because it's just not going to be Storm if I do not hear her monologue and tell the elements to do her bidding.
I'll be honest with you, that we had Storm, and she was in Black Panther, and I dang near wanted to yell at the screen when I first saw her. When I first saw Angela Bassett with the white locks, and you see her in her own regal self, and Vaughn can testify. I wanted to scream so loudly, "You should have been Storm.
You are the chosen one. It should have been you."
Joe, I kid you not.
Boys, she could emote to the point of like she's always
commanding.
Commanding
presence.
Every dramatic acting role that she's ever been in, she would have been perfect for.
Yes, and I would have loved it because she just had that presence that we all expect Storm to have, just from our comic book reading, just from the animated series that ran on Fox. When we thought of Storm, I'm sorry, not to go on this little rant. When I saw Halle Berry, I was like, no.
No. To be fair with Halle Berry, she is fine because her incarnation was the Ultimate Storm, and that does fit her perfectly there.
I hate to go.
Ultimate Storm with Halle Berry, that does make sense.
Agree and disagree.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. I only had to go with the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, Ultimate Storm is basically Halle Berry anyway. So
I stand by my comment.
Judging from the cartoon, that would have been Angela would have been perfect. Alfred would have been a close second too. I loved her in movies back in the day.
Alfred would, yeah. But before we get to Joe's comic book, because I gotta say this too, because I know I mentioned E3 a lot in this podcast. Yes, E3 is coming back. Yes, they are going to have full showcases. And of course, some of the players will go ahead and have their own showcases. We're used to this by now. So between us three people, of course, myself, Vaughn, and Joe, we are planning to actually do a live review of each of the showcases between all of us. So as we get closer to the June, the 13th through the 16th for E3?
I think 12th through the 15th or something like that.
Yeah, it's a weird setup. Like, it starts on Saturday and ends on a Tuesday.
But that Jeff Keighley mini event, the summer game thing on the 10th.
Yeah, that I'll watch it because you know what? There may actually be some trailers in it. There may actually be some.
The thing that I'm doing, I'm boycotting anything that Aisha Tyler is a part of.
Even Archer?
I'm talking about with E3. Anything outside of E3.
Well,
comedy specials, but Archer, yeah, I love her.
Well, you know she's probably gonna be running Ubisoft. She ran Ubisoft last year. I mean, she ran Ubisoft the year before last, so you know she'll probably be doing Ubisoft again.
And whenever she starts talking in E3, I tend to tune out. So yeah.
Fair enough. But like I said, with Vaughn's channel, Big BZA Dot on Facebook, my channel at Get Bit. Joe, what's the channel that everybody knows that can follow you, that you'll be doing your live reviews on it as well?
If I do it, it'll be on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Joe10LO.
Okay, cool. Because like I said, guys, with E3, that is the I don't call it the World Series or WrestleMania because WWE has kind of fell off lately. But that's what we're going to be covering as it comes up. And then last but not least, because I know Joe has a lot of comic book recommendations. So what you got for us this week, Joe?
I got a bit. We'll go to my favorite one, which is the Stargirl Spring Break Summer Special. So this is picking Stargirl back up. We're still continuing some things from her. She's still with her stepdad, Pat. They go down to Florida for spring break, her and Pat, because Pat's gotten a call from a couple people from one of his older adventure groups, the Seven Soldiers of Victory. Then something goes wrong, and we learn that Green Arrow gets involved because he was one of the Golden Age Green Arrow was one of the Seven Soldiers of Victory.
Right.
And we learn Ollie was the Golden Age Green Arrow. It's explained. They actually do explain it. Apparently, he got into a fight with Clock King, and it got him and Roy, while Roy was still a kid, back into the early days of heroism. So time travel was involved, and that's why Ollie is the Golden Age Green Arrow.
Okay.
The one that looks like Owen Wilson dressed as Robin Hood.
Yes, that is actually current Ollie, and even his sister Emiko. It's like, I hate time travel so much.
I was gonna be honest with you. Like, is it just me, or the time travel story used a lot since Infinity War?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we learned that the Crimson Avenger, the original Crimson Avenger, the man, he had passed, and his protege had taken over.
Okay.
And they're fighting, I believe it's still Clock King. Courtney gets hit by Ray, and we see that something's not right, and they need to save some kids, which may or may not be the unknown proteges of some of the other Seven Soldiers of Victory. So the new Stargirl will be kind of a team-up book with her and Emiko, trying to find these lost sidekicks to the Seven Soldiers of Victory, either through time or as adults.
So they're doing the lost children arc from shoot. They're doing the lost children arc from Wonder Woman?
Possibly. The other interesting thing that we see is they're still fighting Clock King in this battle, and he blasts Ollie. So we see Golden Age Ollie. We see Ollie now, and we see a third Ollie, and it's the Dark Knight Rises Ollie.
You know what, Vaughn? You got something, because that's going to make me question a lot. Go ahead, what are you going to say, Vaughn?
I feel like anytime time travel is used in like media, that's the writer saying, "Oh shit, oh snap, we've written ourselves into a corner." Like,
no, this is actually starting something. This is like a kickoff book that's going to start a whole arc.
Okay.
But again, it just feels like a reset, though. It feels like a massive reset to start the arc. But go ahead, Joe.
Well, I was going to say, it's kind of hard to be a reset, because this is kicking off a brand new series for Stargirl. So it's really kind of hard to say, hey, we're starting over when this is the kickoff point for a whole new book.
Yeah, but it's trying to keep it with the continuance of the Infinite Frontier, or is it all standalone?
It's part of Infinite Frontier. And remember, in Infinite Frontier, everything happens.
Right. That's why I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm all for great story, but then, maybe as it goes along, maybe it's one of those things like just hang in there, it gets better kind of situations. But go ahead, Joe.
We also have a small back part of the comic series where it's a briefing of Degaton coming to Clock King going, well, you've screwed this up. Now I'm going to have to go hurt these people.
I'm sorry. To see Debutante talk crap to Clock King is like the funniest thing. I'm sorry, it's funny to me, but go ahead, Joe.
I am liking this. Next up, we got the Josh Williamson Robin series. So last we left, he tried to fight Flatline, and Flatline flat out KO'd him and ripped his heart out.
Pretty much.
And killed him. So we now know the official rules of the Island Tournament. You can only fight in the daytime. You can be killed 3 times, and on the 3rd time, you are permanently dead.
They give him a 3 and out rule. Got it.
He strikes you out. Okay.
No, this is
my heart! You took it out.
This is Mortal Kombat. This is straight up Mortal Kombat. So Damien wakes up. Ravager's there. Ravager gives him the rundown. We see Flatline just flat out kill somebody again, and then Damien gets like the rules, and then Damien immediately kills 10 people. Just like immediately with shuriken in foreheads, chops through bodies, beheads people everywhere.
So he just
and then tosses his sword at Flatline. He's got like the I see you, you see me. I got my eye on you, and
so it's a one-up situation. He tried to one up Flatline.
Oh yeah, and then of course Flatline just kind of winks at him. It's like, well, that's cute, that's nice.
Dang.
Sweet boy. So you also get a rundown.
Hey, hang on. Say what you say, Vaughn?
What's the name of this one again?
What's the name of it, Joe?
It's just Robin.
Just Robin? Okay, cool. I'm writing this down, by the way.
So, Ravager is sitting there telling him, all right, here are the top 5 people that are in this thing that you got to watch out for. Which is Respawn, which is the knockoff Deathstroke that even Ravager's like, I have no idea who this idiot is.
But he will know. He will definitely find out.
A 10-year-old that apparently can fight named Double XL. I have no idea. I cannot tell you. Flatline, obviously. Black Swan, who is a ballerina-style assassin. And then she tells him and points over, it's like, and then we have the top dog in this tournament, Connor Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Hawk is currently fighting Raptor from the Dick Grayson Agent of Spiral series. And uppercuts him and then immediately snaps his neck. Like, in 2 moves.
That was disrespectful. I read that part. That was disrespectful.
Well, I mean, he is under the thumb of the League of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why, but still, it's just one of those. I'm really sorry, I can't help this. Crap.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how you apologize for just. I'm sorry for disrespectfully mutilating you, but that's the rules. That's what I got. That's what I got from it. I was like,
I'm not even mad. I'm not doing this out of anger. It's just what I have to do. So.
It was just
Ravager, so to wrap it up, Ravager tells Robin's like, look, I'm going to train you. You stand out way too much in this.
Mm-hmm.
And you've already died once, and sure, you've already killed 10 people, but, kid, you got 2 more chances. I don't care if you're the son of the banks.
All right, hold on, hang on, Joe, before you finish. R.I. the King, thanks, man, for hanging out his night out with the lady. Thought I'd stop by real quick. Thanks for watching, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Joe.
So, Robin's trying to sneak through the island and to see what's going on, and runs into Flatline. Flatline's like, I'm going to follow you, Nightwing, or not Nightwing. Damien's like, whatever you want. It's like, what do you want out of all of this, Flatline? She's like, I don't know, dude. Zombie apocalypse?
Bond, yes. The look you have, Bond, yes. That's exactly how she thinks.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
That's exactly how she thinks. You think that's crazy now.
15 werewolves, why
But go ahead, Joe.
Well, the end of the book is just like Damien, Ravager captures Damien sneaking and like, dude, I've got to train you. Like I said, you stand up too much, you're going to need to learn some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And as their approach is like, Damien's like, what is this god-awful sound? It's like, it's music, Damien. At night, we party.
Yeah.
So there's like this giant thing. Again, I love this book. There's actually a lot of controversy going on right now involving Robin. Not this book in particular. It's something that DC was doing with this publishing initiative that they wanted to do, called the DC Round Robin, where they were pitching ideas, and Robin with an S, and beat out Green Lantern, despite Green Lantern winning higher votes in Twitter and on another platform, but it's still Robin still won because it got more on Instagram.
So social media wise, Robin won out.
Yeah, despite the fact that a 2-3 majority Green Lantern won, it's still Robin's won, and then Blue Beetle was beating out Suicide Squad, and somehow Suicide Squad magically won. So
I'm sorry.
Again, 2 Bat books are invited to become more books because we need more Bat books.
They might actually just go ahead, instead of just doing one story, actually just go with all 4.
They're not. They've already said they're not doing it.
I mean, with the whole outpour of it, though, if you really think about it, because I'm not mad about Suicide Squad story. David Ayer actually gave a great Suicide story, especially where everybody became crazy and Harley Quinn was sane, where she actually became Harley Quinn, where she became Dr. Harley Quinn all over again. Blue Beetle, like, well, me and Joe talked about this. Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. It honestly should be.
This is
Oh, am I cutting into it?
This is Jaime.
Okay. So I'm about to say, I thought you had a story. I'm about to say I didn't want to cut into your story if you had one. Because I still say, like, Vaughn, you remember we talked about how some superheroes kind of remind us like the boys, where they want to be famous and they're trying to get noticed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, they actually had a storyline where, and it's still a current storyline, where they're trying to get into the Justice League, but they're kind of seen like, the bench players, I guess, if you will. So
I think you told me about this where they tried to use social media.
Yeah.
That's an
upcoming story.
Yeah. That's going to be a story I'm looking forward to.
1,500 likes, I'm going to save this person's like. Okay. Train is coming, y'all better give me my likes.
Now, if they do that, I'll be laughing my head off, because Booster Gold, Nathan Fillion should be playing Booster Gold if he ever shows up in the movie. But what do you say, Vaughn?
I really feel like in media, DC needs to play to these newer people that you haven't heard of, that we're not that familiar with. They got to get off the teeth of Spider-Man and of
Superman and Batman.
Like come on, man. You have a plethora of people that you can you can mine. That's what. Hey, you take the best away from Marvel. Who thought we care about Iron Man and Thor and all these other people?
But that's great storytelling. Great storytelling, great casting. That's what it always comes back to. Like, think about that. Who knew that Jason Momoa would make Aquaman better than what he is? Because let's be honest, Aquaman for the longest time was one of the biggest running jokes in DC. If you really think about it. And then let James Wan come along and actually do something that makes him look better and formidable.
Hey, Joe. Hey, I work at Gibson, and guess who showed up one day? Jason Momoa.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, man! The whole place was just losing their mind.
They swooned over his ass, didn't they?
Oh my goodness. I ain't gonna lie, like, hey, how you doing? It was just crazy to see the guy, like, he is as tall as you think he is.
So he's about what, 6'6", 6'7"?
It's 6, 7 foot. Don't test me.
Pretty much his shadow got a shadow. Got it.
Yeah, his shadow is right behind him with another shadow.
Gotcha. What else you got? What else you got for us, Joe?
We have the issue 3 of Beta Ray Bill's really, really bad week.
Oh God, that was.
Where he has the best cover ever, where he's trying to put Stormbreaker back piece by piece with super glue.
Which, by the way, Vaughn, you weren't here when we talked about this. So, the comic book line of Beta Ray Bill's Really Bad Day. So Thor basically destroys Stormbreaker and then apologizes in like the worst way possible to Beta Ray Bill. Like, I'm sorry, but hey, what you gonna do? I'm All Father.
What are you going to do about it?
Right.
All right, so the rundown is...
Goodness, so he basically just said, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I still beat you down right now." Really?
Pretty much.
Come on, man.
But I'm sorry, Joe.
Right.
I'm sorry, Joe. Go
The
ahead.
rundown on this one is... We're still picking back up. The ship Scuttlebutt has made an AI robot construct, kind of like Aya in Green Lantern.
Okay.
So, from here on out, pretty much every page is a heavy metal cover.
Nice.
They give Scourge guns, which is always a good idea and a bad idea sometimes. Scuttlebutt technically transforms itself from a spaceship into kind of space battleship Yamato that can survive the fire oceans of Surtur's realm.
Oh wow. So they're going that story. Okay, got it.
Oh yeah. Bill and Scuttlebutt just sit there. He grabs a beer with everybody, and then Scuttlebutt and him play ping pong, while Bill just kind of tries to work out what Scuttlebutt's doing. I'm not joking with you.
that in itself, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll be ranting about that one. Go ahead, Joe.
Scuttlebutt gives Bill another weapon to use on his way out because, like, this is my gift to you. I know you're going through a hard time. Here's a weapon. Here's a rocket axe.
I already see this is going. I see where this is
So
going.
he, of course, tosses the axe, and the axe has a rocket on it, so it always comes back to him. And it's one of those, kind of like in Monster Hunter, you have that one axe that has the jet burners that light up when it swings.
Yeah.
Exactly what you think it is.
Oh God.
Every page continues to be a metal cover. And,
So-
I mean, they are now slowly getting to the depths of the realm of Surtur. And that's pretty much what that is.
It's just funny that it's just think of a Marvel hero where anything and everything happens to you. Like you are literally the definition of Murphy's Law, and it gets worse.
It does. It really does.
I'm like, it's almost like Vaughn. I kid you not. Like the comic book that he's referencing. You ever feel like someone just has a hold my beer moment every episode?
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Okay.
It's like every issue's like a hold my beer moment. He's like, oh, you thought that was bad? Wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
We got Heroes Reborn because I keep getting sucked back to this because I finally figured out this is the equivalence of DC's Convergence. The main book is absolutely god-awful, but the tie-ins are actually really good, and something has finally been confirmed. This may have something to do with Mephisto.
We finally have a confirmed Mephisto from us.
Oh, like you would not believe. So all the churches, none of these churches are the Church of God.
Huh.
They are the Church of Mephisto. Everyone says, oh, thank Mephisto. Even the dollar bill says, in Mephisto we trust.
Oh wow! So that's gonna be the tie-in to Multiverse of Madness. I would be surprised.
No, I guarantee you, one of the thousands upon thousands of Hyperions got in contact with Mephisto.
Possibly.
That's what this is.
Joe had a rock moment in the doubt.
He started to go the promo. He had to stop himself. I saw that. I saw Joe about to stop himself.
Right, so the first one tie-in that we can look at is Young Squadron. This is the champions of this universe, so we have in names ranking of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So Miles is the good. He just adopts the identity of Falcon.
Okay.
Kid Nova, Jason Alexander. Sam Alexander is Kid Spectrum.
Okay.
And the ugly is, unfortunately, Kamala Khan, whose name is Girl Power. So this is just a real brief thing of how everyone gets their powers. Sam gets caught in a MODOK attack, and he fights Dr. Spectrum and somehow grabs hold of Spectrum's power prism and becomes Kid Cosmic, which is just a really ugly version of his Nova suit.
Dang. That sounds like that might be weak sauce in that storytelling, but go ahead.
Kamala just comes across some ancient artifacts, puts them on, and she's basically Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
And Power Princess comes down.
I gotta stop you right there. So I know I gotta ask this question because you read this before I did. The actual artifacts that Kamala Khan puts on, you already know the question I'm gonna ask. Just tell me if it's yes or no.
Tiara and 2 wrist bracers.
So DC will be suing, but go ahead.
No. You're forgetting the Squadron Supreme and Squadron Sinister are all allegory, DC allegories. So Power Princess is basically black and gold Wonder Woman.
True, but likeness though. I mean, you are right. It's just the whole.
Not in this universe. She is just black and gold Wonder Woman.
That's just from a lawyer standpoint, it's way too close. But go ahead.
Miles just really likes Falcon, who was the sidekick to Nighthawk. Falcon dies in a fight with this universe's Green Goblin, just called the Goblin, and he found himself to what?
Wait, they written it to where Sam Wilson gets killed by Green Goblin.
Yes. So
who's the writer for this comic? I so want to ask who the writer for this comic is right now, but go ahead.
So Miles just makes a Falcon costume. They are while Nighthawk is fighting the Scorpions, which is Scorpion and Scorpia. Comes in and helps him, and then Nighthawk just like, kid, if you ever show up in this costume again, I'm gonna break your legs.
Dang.
He's like, I do not want a sidekick. Sam was not my sidekick. He was my partner. You are belittling his memory. If you show up in this again, I'm breaking your legs and putting you in juvenile detention.
Well, that's a threat. I mean, that says a lot. Better than Omega Red. But
and then it goes into like the career of they slowly start teaming up, and then they fight Deadpool. And Deadpool is not.
Oh, I'm reading this.
Right.
Deadpool is just himself. He's like, everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. You guys don't see it. Why are you guys like this? You were the champions. And they're like, what? No, we're the young squadron. It's like, no, you're all idiots. I'm taking Sam. So we kidnap Sam.
in true Deadpool fashion.
So please mind, apparently he was in the team up with the Goblin when he killed Falcon. Which, by the way, Falcon dies the same way as Gwen Stacy does.
Oh.
No, the best part is even Miles is like, wait, you're gonna kill me? We're not even on a bridge. And Deadpool's like, what? God, no, that's so derivative. That's Norman's thing. We're on top of a roller coaster. I'm gonna kill you by setting you on fire, by soaking you in gas, setting you on fire, making you ride around on a roller coaster.
Yep, that's Deadpool. That is Deadpool in every sense of the word, and literally makes no. But yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
We fight Deadpool, and then the narrator pops in, and Deadpool starts talking to the narrator. It's like, oh, thank God. I mean, you're wrong. This is not the right universe. And he's telling even the narrator, this is not the right universe. And then he tells the kids, like, you kids do not know what you're in for. Like, every single one of these people you idolize is a murderer. Like, no, it's like, really? How many people is Nighthawk beaten into oblivion? Pretty much the Batman argument of that.
Yeah.
Like, look at Power Princess. Let's see how much property damage she's doing.
Dang.
Dr. Spectrum murdered alien refugees because of one incident. Was somebody that was clearly an accident. And Hyperion, we don't even talk about him right now.
He had a Thanos level event. He actually made Thanos look adjusted.
Hyperion in the shadow of Mephisto.
Okay.
And then all the kids like, ooh,
rethinking the whole situation.
No, So Nighthawk shows up to take Deadpool away, and they're like, "So, where's that kid Falcon? Because I know he's with you." Oh, he's not here. Are you sure? Because I would love to help him. It's like, nope, haven't seen him.
You already know that's gonna go horribly wrong.
So Sam goes out like, "So we gone?" Like, yeah. So we're not doing this anymore, right? It's like, and I was like, "No, we're doing it, but we are not calling ourselves the Young Squadrons anymore." Really like the name Champions. That sounds like it's a good idea.
Oh God! Why is Deadpool this? I gotta ask this. Of all things, Deadpool is the center of reason.
Hey man, sometimes craziness. If there's a lot of craziness going on around, it takes crazy to fix crazy.
You know what? Deadpool being the center of reason in the story. Okay, I'll give you that. I give you that. I'm sorry, Joe. Not to interrupt you. Go ahead, man.
Well, the next one we got is Siege Society. This is just Thunderbolts. This is Baron Zemo's version of the Thunderbolts. So we have Black Widow, Sabretooth, Hawkeye. Scott Lang is Fire Ant, which is actually a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's him with all sorts of like actual flamethrowers and whatnot.
Yeah.
It still has the shrinking and whatnot. That's actually a really cool idea. And Silver Witch, which is still Wanda with
the Quicksilver's powers, right?
So they do some stuff in London. Their version of Excalibur comes out. Also, U.S. Agent is here, but he's Soviet agent.
You know what? Not to interrupt you real quick, but I have to agree with you because you posted this on Facebook that you might be right. I think the MCU may be rolling out with their version of the Thunderbolts. You actually have a solid point.
Some of the mainstay Thunderbolts, and I'm fine with it.
Because I'm like, if you think about it, they kept on mentioning Thunderbolt Ross. Of course, Baron Zemo's already established. The Raft is already established. They're already there. There's a lot, like you said. There's a lot of the main ones already there. So I would not be surprised if the MCU does do the Thunderbolts. Because Vaughn, I know Vaughn. Have you ever heard of the Thunderbolts, Vaughn?
Here and there, bits and pieces. Don't fill me in, bro.
Pretty much Suicide Squad of Marvel.
That's depending on what era you're in. If you're in the Norman Osborn era, that's absolutely appropriate.
Well, since Norman Osborn, I guess for now hasn't been introduced to the MCU, or is kind of like in the shadows, so they really didn't. I mean, the thing about Norman Osborn is like in the Spider-Man universe. If you really think about it, he's not mentioned because Spider-Man's only still in the high school purpose, and it's kind of weird that he hasn't met Harry Osborn yet. But I guess they haven't introduced that. I guess we'll be introduced to that in No Way Home. At least I think. But not to cut you off, Joe. But I agree with you. I think the Thunderbolts will be introduced in the MCU. It's just how they're going to do it. But go ahead.
So they're in London, and Siege Society is taking on some of the other members of the Squadron Supreme. So Tom Thun, which is their version of the Atom. They also fight Amphibian, which is their Aquaman. Golden Archer, which is their Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Nighthawk and Blur also kind of come in and help out with some stuff, and they fight. And also their Hawkman, which is Blue Eagle, which Sabretooth almost immediately tries to murder.
Not surprised.
Hawkeye gets into an arrow off with Golden Archer, where Hawkeye fires a fire arrow, Golden Archer fires a ice arrow. Hawkeye fires a triple-headed arrow, Golden Archer fires off a quadruple-headed arrow, and even Hawkeye calls BS on it. It's like, realistically, what does even a quadruple arrow even do?
That sounds like an archery battle gone horribly wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah,
it's
so
just Hawkeye being a hater as always. He is such a hater. Ugh. That's why I don't like his character.
Tom Thumb grows the normal size, which is that's not really that impressive. We have the traditional Hawkeye shoots Scott on an arrow, and Scott immediately kills Golden Archer because he just steps on him.
Dang.
And Hawkeye kills Tom Thumb with an arrow to the eye. Black Widow's there. Sabretooth is still trying to fight their Hawkman equivalent, and then their magic user, which I don't know what she's an allegory for, DC-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just Arcana from Excalibur. And Wanda just has enough of her and just literally says no more you and erases her from existence.
Dang!
Like, she literally says no more you. Like, this is Wanda's big power in this thing, is she just embraces that no more shtick.
Oh, she just fully embraced it.
Like, last week, she literally tells her no more speed.
You really think about it, Wanda's kind of a dick to the fact of the matter. The only way she can beat you is to erase her power or erase you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of low down if you think about it.
To be able to just walk up to a person you got beef with and just say, hey, no more whatever your power is, just take it like, this is not fair. Not fair, man.
The point is to drop on Wanda, and, that's just not going to work because it's Wanda.
Pretty much.
No more.
So, Nighthawk and Zemo are sword fighting. And then Zemo makes a very, very good point to Nighthawk. If you know it, Nighthawk is always the one to betray Squadron Supreme because he's basically Batman.
Yeah.
So Zemo makes a very good point, and then Nighthawk just all right, fine. You know what? Get out. This didn't happen. He's back in the, I guess, Night Cave. Hyperion is above the Earth watching all this go down. The Blur is back in his house with a Sex Pistol album. Instead of God Save the Queen, it's Mephisto Save the Queen.
And that's where the influence comes in.
Oh no, it's everywhere. Even in the Young Squadron, Power Princess's catchphrase is by Mephisto.
Okay, so they're trying to say it's already established as far as the continuum goes. Then.
Oh yeah, no, it's everywhere. The last Heroes Reborn one shot we got. Before we move on, there was just 3 because they were actually good, which is Peter Parker, the Amazing Shutterbug, which again we went through my thing. This makes no sense because Spider-Man predates the Avengers by 2 years.
Pretty much.
Peter didn't get his powers because Flash is a jerk and tossed him harder, so the spider missed Peter, and then the spider just gets stepped on.
Oh, so he just becomes just the consummate photojournalist.
Yeah. No, in this one, Peter does some stuff. Mary Jane talks to Peter for a bit, and then apparently she moves away after graduation, leaving Peter alone. They actually already are friends. Peter's in college now. He's inventing drones. He runs into Carolyn Traynor at college. Interesting, for those that don't know, she is Ben Reilly's Dr. Octopus.
Right.
Female Doc Ock. Hyperion ends up fighting Hovermaster, the Hovermaster.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. It's just the visual of it all just.
24th century theory of Hovermaster's quantum mechanics. So apparently he's the Hovermaster. Whatever. So Hyperion to fight the Hovermaster, just I-beams a billboard and tosses it at Hovermaster, kills Hovermaster, but also kills everybody in that building that got caught with that billboard being tossed in. Guess who is in the building?
Somebody we're not going to care about, but I got to hear it. Please let me somebody I don't care about.
Hyperion kills Ant-Man.
Dang! But wait. He drops the building on him, or he was just already in the building?
No. Ant-Man was already in the building. Hyperion laser visions a billboard, tosses the billboard at Hovermaster, killing Hovermaster and everybody in that building that the billboard hit.
Oh, that's just hateful. That's hateful. God, that's hateful.
So Peter has to go to the Daily Bugle and ask, hey, can I get a job? I have these hover drones. I can take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie's like, you know, you get really good photos. Of course, JJ's in there being an idiot, but we also know the secret that JJ does actually want Peter to have a job because, you know, he's actually putting on a show.
Right.
Peter takes the job. He kind of becomes like Hyperion's like personal photographer because Hyperion really loves the publicity. We of course see him fighting the Swarm. In this one, it's the Hive of Annihilation, which is kind of thing. He immediately kills Ultron and gets Peter to take a picture in front of the corpse of the 50-foot Ultron. And Peter's like, yeah, sure, I've detained him already. I've already defeated Namor, that mutant freak show, and his mutant force. I've detained them all and dealt with them. Now there's only one thing left to do. And Pete's like, sure.
It's kind of odd that it's a world without Spider-Man, but you still have the. It's like it's a. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're getting to that. So, you see a little bug as Peter goes into the Daily Bugle. A little bug hop into view.
Okay.
So he goes into the Daily Bugle, and all of a sudden, like, someone's head gets decapitated. Bombs are going off everywhere. We don't know what's going on. We still don't know what's going on. It looks like it's the little bug that's doing everything, but it bites Peter, and then Peter grows 2 additional spider arms.
Okay.
Them out the window and has kind of like green claws. So he's becoming a Spider-Man.
He's becoming generic. What do they call him? No. He's not a.
Spider.
Crap.
I don't know what he's becoming, but this is more alien based.
It's like that spider in what was like the 4th season of the cartoon.
Yeah, where he's the man. He's pretty much the. Yeah, where he's pretty much the mute. He's that.
So this is what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. So again, this is great. I like that the main Heroes Reborn comic treats Peter as like the Jimmy Olsen of golly gee, Hyperion, and then when it's like golly Hyperion, that's fantastic, and then Hyperion flies off. God, what a dick.
So it's a little bit of the boys in it. It's like, hey, Homelander. Homelander.
Yeah. So moving over to X-Men, we are picking up.
I love you. As soon as he flies away, you punk mother. I hate your mama.
Well, this is Way of X, so this is that Nightcrawler book. We did learn that Nightcrawler is dealing with Legion. Legion is helping Kurt work through some stuff in his own mind, so he has kind of like that doubt about what's going on because of his religion and whatnot, and we see that something in his mind is putting these thoughts in there.
Okay.
And Legion gets it out of the thing. It's like, well, I can take care of this, but you need to do me a favor. And Kurt's like, all right, sure. So Kurt gets a little mutant team together of that mushroom doctor, Pixie, and some other people. That really poor, unfortunate mutant lady comes by, and then everybody in the bar pukes.
She has that ability.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Pixie, Kurt, and that mushroom-headed doctor come in, and Legion's like, all right, so here's my deal. I need you to kill him. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, look, they got my mind. It's just a brain in a jar. I don't want to live like this. It's really, really bad in my mind, and he shows him what it's like in his mind. And all the voices in his head are just like, it's zombies, it's suicide, it's just utter and total chaos in Legion's mind.
Gotcha.
It's like, look, Kurt, I helped you. You're a good man. I don't want to be like this. It's like, I just need you to kill me, if you don't mind. And by the way, I need you to bring Pixie because Pixie's soul dagger is one of the very few things that can kill me and make sure I stay dead. Or not stay dead, but
you can't be resurrected.
My defenses lessened so that you can actually shoot with a ring. So Kurt does. And then Legion's brought back, and Xavier and Magneto are not really happy. So Legion comes up, and Legion's back to his normal powers. It's like, I'm neat for right now. The voices are pretty quiet because new mind, new body.
Right.
But he makes it sound so nonchalant. Like, look here, like, this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna need you to kill me. Don't even understand. Like, just don't worry about it. Here,
That's Legion. That is definitely Legion.
So Charles, understandably, because William, you and I know what Legion can do.
Pretty much.
Charles is like, so, son, what are you gonna do? It's like, Dad, bugger off. I don't got time with you. Hellfire's Gala, I gotta look my best. He was like, oh, you're going with this. Eric and I can, he can help you with that. It's like, oh, no, God, no. Looks right at McNeil, it's like, you are nothing but a swirl of dark, dark secrets upon secrets and shadows. I can literally smell them off the both of you. It's like, and he just looks at Charles like, and Dad, you got even worse than Eric here. So, no, Kurt, my boy, my good man, Kurt, we have to go deal with the Patchwork Man.
Yeah.
Because we thought that he was the Patchwork Man.
Okay.
So he is not the Patchwork Man, because remember, we forgot something in Krakoa. All the mutants come back except precogs, right?
Right.
There's a reason this mutant's called the Patchwork Man.
aside from being deceptive, I haven't read that far. I haven't read that far where you're at, but I got a good idea.
No, they outright say it. It's Onslaught.
Really?
Because remember, Onslaught is a patchwork of Xavier,
Right.
Eric, and Franklin Richards.
Onslaught? Okay. All right. I can live with that.
So we see just the clouds making a giant picture of Onslaught as everybody is going into the gimmick to attend the Hellfire Gala. And Kurt and Legers, and there's like, yeah, we got some stuff to do.
Okay, that gives me something to look forward to, because I'm coming up on that. But I was like, Onslaught? Okay.
Well, this also throws a thing in, because this is a clear misdirect from earlier when it was X-Men vs. Fantastic Four when this all started.
Right.
And Charles tells Franklin, oh, you're not a mutant. I don't know what you are.
I was like, that's...
But Franklin was welcomed on Krakoa, which was a big thing when the X-Men fought the Fantastic Four to take Franklin to Krakoa, and then Charles just tells, like, well, you're not a mutant, you can't be here.
Right. So he doesn't know...
I have powers, it's like, well, yours aren't mutant abilities, you always have had these powers.
So that leads into that's going to lead to a whole nother story. If he's not a mutant, then it goes into that area.
Yeah, but this is clearly a misdirect if we're reintroducing Onslaught.
True. I mean, that would make sense how Onslaught gets reintroduced if they're going that route. I can see that, but still, though, that still kind of got me. But go ahead.
And then the final book is New Mutants, because I just love this book so much.
Yeah, he didn't. I'm gonna be honest. It didn't grab me as I thought it would. I tried. I gave it a fair shot, and maybe it's just not my cup of tea. But go ahead and explain.
What are you reading? Because they have a new writer and artist on since issue 16.
That's right. No, did I start 16 or did I start? I think I might have started at 10. I'm not sure. Either 10 or 9 is where I'm at. Or I should say where I gave up.
Anything after the space arc really honestly wasn't that good. And then we got a new writer and artist in 16. And the book is back being as good as well. Yes.
I'll cut in. I'm going to go ahead and...
It's that time, Vaughn?
Yes, that time. I'm sorry, I'm looking too long. Yeah, have a good one.
Well, wait, Vaughn, before you go, man, you got to tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, yes. Well, you can find me on this page. Excuse me. My Facebook is Ace Devon Witherspoon. The YouTube page, you can find me at this Big BZA podcast channel. That's where you can find all my podcasts, the Random is Bud podcast, where we give you some levity and pull the ratchetness dip toe in. And we also have the BST podcast. And if I ever get my, we got to get around this DMCA. I want to bring back rhythmness. I might switch one out with the other one.
I'll tell you, silent listening party, I think, is the way to go.
We'll keep working on that, man. I appreciate that idea, take support.
Mhm.
But look here, guys. If you want to check out my podcast, again, add Ace Devon Witherspoon, and anywhere you see the big PZA dot with an ad symbol in front, man. Joe, appreciate those comic books you put me on. I'm gonna be checking out Robin and the what's his Bad Day.
Beta Ray Bill's back. Yeah, Beta Ray Bill.
I got those two.
It's only 5 issues long, so.
Okay, I definitely will be checking those out, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
Take support for sure. You know you my dude, man. Appreciate you too, man.
Thanks, Mom, for being on, man. We'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, later. All right, Joe. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say about the last book?
Okay, so New Mutants, we're finally following up on, this is right before the Hellfire Gala, so this is finishing up an arc.
Okay.
So for the last thing, we know that Sean's brother has kind of been entwined in her mind, and she wants to get him out of there so he can be reborn because Cerebro can't find him because he's locked in her mind.
Okay.
Well, they talk to him via a two-way communication between Danny and Sean, and they're like, all right, so how do we do this? Like, well, Cerebro's recorded that we are us separate enemies, but since technically you're still stuck in my mind, I have to die. It's like, and I don't want to do this. We've tried other ways, so we've had Jean and Emma both try to get you out and failed. We've had both Jean and Emma simultaneously try and get you out and failed. We've had Charles try to get you out and that failed. So the only thing we can do is the Crucible. So Danny agrees to be her partner in that. So it's Sean and Danny. Sean's got some traditional, can't remember if she's Filipino or Vietnamese. I think she's Filipino, but I could be wrong. Garbage has flowers and a giant machete, I think. And Danny's got her bow and arrows and whatnot. And they're fighting. Meanwhile, the B story still continues with Honey Badger / Scout, Wolverine's granddaughter, and the non-human looking kids that are body swapping.
Okay.
They are still big on this whole body swapping thing, and Gabby is just like, you guys should embrace really who you are, because I love you guys. And they're like, you can go out in public in the human world, Gabby. You look like a little girl who got a face of road rash like you fell off a skateboard.
Damn.
None of us eat.
Damn.
So she goes to Warpath and Gabby goes to Warpath and asks for advice. And I was like, so what do I do? She's like, be you. I mean, you're your friend. They are your friends. Support them. Do the best you can. Eventually, they'll come around. Eventually, while that's going on, we do see the fight with Danny and Sean. That's going pretty well. Gabby relates to having her body taken over by the Stepford Cuckoos when they were literally crazy. They were trying to wreck the two sisters that had died by using Laura and Gabby's body, and her own body being used when she was initially introduced. And it's like, guys, Shadow King's a liar, obviously. He has a history of this.
Maybe I should go back to the show. What episode? I'm sorry. What episode? What issue was this?
I'll have to look it up, but I think it's either 16 or 14 is when they take over.
Okay.
Art style really lends itself to this and whatnot. So, like I said, they get in her face and they're like, no, you just don't understand because you're not a mutant like us.
Okay.
You're a mutant that still looks human. We cannot do that. So eventually, like, Rain stumbles upon him and she goes, Rain's like, I'm trying, and Rain's just like, kid, not everyone's gonna be like this, and, you know, stuff happens. Sean and Danny's fight continue, and Danny does kill Sean. Gabby just tells us, like, you know what, Monk, let me go talk to the Shadow King. Maybe I'm missing something. So Rain takes him over to the Shadow King and leaves him in his care, and it's like, why don't we talk? And Gabby's like, oh God, no, I'm here to kill you.
Damn. Dang. Okay.
She's like, you don't scare me, and I'm not going to let you with my friends anymore. This has got to end. We get a nice non-action report to the Quiet Council from Magic.
Okay.
I'm going to read it. Kind of more about, hey, you were teaching these kids, and you're not really, the Quiet Council isn't really helping us out and whatnot. So, Sean dies and gets reborn. The interesting thing about this is she is reborn without her missing leg again. Like, she still has her cybernetic prosthetic leg. So, I wonder if that's, like, a choice that she consciously made.
Okay.
Because, like, you're totally reborn with a new body, so I found it odd that she kept her metal leg. But I guess that's something Sean wants, and that's how she sees herself as whole with that leg.
Interesting. Okay.
It's very nice. I mean, it's just something sweet. And then we get to see all the New Mutants get together, all the original New Mutants and Warpath. So Ray, Doug, Warlock, Danny, Magic's there, throwing up some devil horns that Sean got reborn. Storm's there because, you know, Storm's just always there to wake up the kids and go, hey, welcome back, sister, welcome to our home.
Right.
And then it goes, like, all right, next up, Fire Gala.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to go back. You said that was what issue was that? You said. I may have to go back and give it a second chance because I'm like, if that was the one for the current issue, I may need to go back and actually give it another shot.
So, it is. Yes, it is issue 14 where Vita Alaya and Rodriguez takes over. This is where the book goes right back to where the first part was.
Okay, so that's 14.
It's worked out the same way where, like, Warlock and Magic come in and Magic immediately takes the giant pot of coffee, like in the first book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't remember that. So that was 14. Got it. Because I might have to. I mean, I like that premise. So maybe I just have to get past a few to get to where that story is. But
you can honestly just jump to 14.
Yeah, I mean, I'll think about it. I mean, at least I know 14 is my starting point of anything. But thank you, Joe, for that. And like I said, guys, that's really all that we have here. I know a lot of people have been asking me about my take on wrestling. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I have not been doing my due diligence when it comes to sports entertainment. That is going to change next Friday. I am going to definitely start talking about WWE and AEW and Ring of Honor just because a lot of information has happened, and I'm sorry I did not include that, but I will rectify that next Friday. So I will include that. But aside from that, guys, thank you all for watching. Joe, where can they find you? Any stuff that you want to plug or talk about, things that you're doing, sir, and also about the Rex Comic Con that's happening tomorrow, please.
Yes, I will be at Rick's Comic City over in Donaldson for their Rick's Comic Con and Toy Fest. You can find me in Baron Zemo. Depending on money, I may or may not dance.
Bands will make Baron Zemo dance.
On the Thunderbolt somehow. Gotta keep operating.
Okay, but just in case they want to know, where is Rick's Comic City?
Rick's Comic City is over in Donaldson, Tennessee. It is probably one of the best comic book stores I've ever been to. They still have not fully resupplied Green Lantern since I bought them out.
You single-handedly pulled a Baron Zemo while being Baron Zemo.
Oh, I've bought them out of multiple things.
Like I said,
because of me.
That's why I said you pulled a Baron Zemo while cosplaying as Baron Zemo. All you're missing at this point is the butler. But yes, that definitely, like I said, I always try to, like I said, local comic book stores. I know, guys, it is way too easy to go online, to read comics online, but support your local comic book stores. Just because the simple fact of the matter, guys, it's not a dying breed in some areas. I know, like the major ones, like Mile High Comics in Denver and Stan's Comic Books in Los Angeles, California. I'm trying to think of the actual name because it's one of the large, like Mile High is one of the largest comic book stores in the U.S. and then it's followed by the one in Los Angeles. That's where Comic Con is next to. But again, guys, support your local comic book stores because, like I said before, aside from libraries, they are the greatest source to find comics. And like I said, comic books are not going away. As long as superheroes are still successful and popular, comic books, regardless, will still always be around. And of course, if you are in Nashville, Tennessee, specifically Middle Tennessee, definitely check out Rick's Comic City in Donaldson. I should have got the address so we could actually plug where the address was.
I can also give you a brief rundown of MODOK.
Oh, you know what? I didn't watch it because I saw your Facebook post, and that made me not want to watch it. But go ahead before we plug the rest of the stuff.
I made it halfway through episode 1, and then I got bored, and then I decided to go play Mass Effect. It was really bad. It looks fantastic. It is basically Black Lightning. Great cast, very good animation style because it looks like an even higher production for. What's it called? Robot Chicken?
Okay.
The writing is god awful. The jokes are terrible. Like, the character traits are god awful. Like, MODOK's big character trait is he's Jewish and he's weird. MODOK's daughter's big plot development is she's MODOK, but female and a teenager. MODOK's wife's character motivation is, I'm an internet influencer, and my husband doesn't pay enough attention to me. The arch villain of the first episode was literally Google.
I'm sorry. I see why you said that now. I see why you said it. I didn't give MODOK a shot. I was kind of concerned because I saw it. I'm like, it went too much. It went so far Robot Chicken that I didn't think it would hold anybody's attention. And when I saw your Facebook post, I was like, he's not wrong.
The biggest joke from the opening thing was, we got Iron Man's boot. I'm going to go sleep in my bed with it while my wife sleeps on the couch so I can sleep in our family bed with Iron Man's boot. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, so that's probably not gonna be. It's probably not gonna be on long.
City's address. It is 2720 Old Lebanon Road, Street 104 in Nashville.
All right, so there you have goes for that address. Aside from that, and where he'll be tomorrow, I'm pretty sure our other brethren, Shadow, will probably be there as well. Anything else, Joe, that you want to let the people know what you're up to?
I know we got a cosplay picnic coming up in the second week of June. That's a cosplay collective thing. We'll have more information on that. And I think that's it right now.
Okay. Well, like I said, definitely look up Joe, Total Justice Gaming. Of course, his Twitch channel as well, as he will definitely, like I said before, will be cosplaying as Baron Zemo, and also bring bands to Rick's Comic City, and hopefully somebody get this on recording, because if someone does bring money, and Joe does dances, I wish to God someone recorded this so I could put it on GetBit next Friday. I will pay you. I'm just throwing out in the universe.
Lazy white boy dancing just like Zemo, so what does it matter?
It's gonna be gold. That's all I'm gonna need.
Why is the cruise a Yellow Lantern?
It's gonna be gold. Aside from that, guys, as myself, the link at the bottom, as you see, if you copy and paste that into your browser, does take you to my Facebook and YouTube groups for all my podcasts. How the Frack We Got Here, Get Bit, and Off Limits Podcast. So definitely like, share, and subscribe from there. My podcast scheduling, guys, still hasn't changed. Every Wednesday is the midweek review of How the Frack We Got Here, my U.S. political news podcast. As Friday, as you see now, from 8:30 to 10, is always going to be Get Bit with me and Joe and others here. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to noon, is the weekend edition of How the Frack We Got Here. Follow a little bit later that night by the very adult podcast of 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. of Off Limits. So definitely like, share, and subscribe, guys. And also, if you like what we did, please let me know. If you didn't like what we did, please let me know. Or if you just disagree with everything that we talked about in this entire podcast, it is completely fine. That's the whole point of this whole show. Is to basically talk about your fandoms and actually find new fandoms. And of course, next week I will have more, like I said before, I do apologize about the wrestling side. because I do love sports entertainment. I do miss quality. I do miss it, and I need to talk more about it. And also some anime news. Also, we'll have next week as well. And of course, like I said before, a little bit early in the podcast with E3, we will start covering that and giving our reactions of what we expect. Although I'm just looking forward to God of War at this point, because God of War Ragnarok has now made me affirm that I will have to go look for a PS5. I was kind of hoping I didn't have to look for a PS5 until sometime in 2022, but it looks like now I will have to play the rolling game of where the next PS5 drop is going to be. So, aside from that, guys, again, thank you all for watching. And also, again, guys, please take care of each other. I mean, we're still not out of this COVID-19 mess. If you got the shot, get the shot. Wearing a mask, be definitely preventative, because like I said, we're not all vaccinated, so definitely take care of yourselves. But above all that, guys, remember, Get Bit is just basically about fandoms. We love them. We might have some issues with them, but we're definitely not toxic. You definitely don't want to be toxic, because toxicity kills fandoms. So aside from that, it's all love, peace, and chicken grease. But as far as for me, as far as for Joe, this will be Get Bit for this evening. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll get through this. Oh God, that was the most terrible exit ever. My tongue just went left. Thank you all guys for watching. Have a great night. We are out. Peace.